All right, all right, all right. Enough of that music, enough of the countdown. Let's go. I'm locking in. I'm starting. I'm firing off. If you're not here, you're not here because I ain't going to be here long. I don't care. The Pebble is right. Lovey Marie's antenna is here before I even hit start stream. Harry, what up? The Pebble, Brandy, AAA, member extraordinaire, Harry member extraordinaire, Lovey Marie, The Pebble, a lot of members already in here. Brandy, of course. Beast Grills, I think, is the only non-member. Salute to you. Let's hop right in. I think the only member and Patreon member in here is AAA and Cheryl. I think that's it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Let's get right into it. Listen, the Shedeur Sanders hype is real, and if you don't believe it, you are under a rock playing with a toad. Why a toad? I don't know. It's here, and we have to embrace it. Kevin Stefanski, I am talking to you. Embrace it and live with it. This whole thing of I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is going to be QB1 or not, we have to evaluate, and we'll see come Thursday, is a bunch of baloney if I have ever heard it. And it's only a Cleveland Brown thing. Only. You're not a Patreon no more, Brandy. I went and checked. Unfortunately, you left me. I don't know what happened. You said, screw that guy. But it's a Cleveland Brown thing. And I think only the Cleveland Brown franchise can mess this thing up. And I think we're the only franchise that would do it. And let me explain to you the many reasons why I say that. Shedeur Sanders came out against the Carolina Panthers, and I understand it's just preseason. I understand that, he played against the backups, blah, 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 blah. Listen, when you have someone like Shedeur Sanders right now, the national media is all over it. The local media is all over it. You have fans in Carolina that was cheering for him when he scored. Yeah, and they were in Carolina jerseys too. They weren't in Cleveland jerseys. You have something on your hands. Yes, he was a 5th round pick. I know. So he should get 5th round treatment. Everybody can make all the excuses they want to try to buffer their point. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. He is a talent that was a 1st round talent. They argue he might be the 2nd pick in the draft, and then the plummet happened, and we can argue why it happened. Django, what up? Now, let's talk about this now. Going into Philadelphia, most franchises, what they would do in this situation. If you have the hot hand, let's build on it. Let's give him more opportunities to grow. That's what 31 other teams would do in this situation. But guess what? There's one outlier, and it's the Cleveland Browns. Well, we got to go back and look. We got to get 16 other quarterback reps in practice. We got to go by the agenda. Screw the agenda, okay? Life isn't fair sometimes, right? Injuries happen, okay? Sometimes you lose your reps to injuries. And guess what? Some people lose their starting spots to injury. Drew Bledsoe, how you doing? It happens, okay? Tom Brady was born off of the injury. And now he's the GOAT. Let that sink in and sizzle. John, what up? I was at the game and there were more Brown Shedeur fans than Panther fans at the game. That's the closest emoji to wrist up. We're going to have to get a wrist up emoji, members. It's going to have emoji members. Members, we're going to have to get one coming soon. What up, James? It happened. So 31 NFL teams, this is what they would do. They would say, wait a minute, this young man performed great with limited reps, splitting between 4 quarterbacks. Let's get this man half the reps with the starters and see how he does. But what do the Browns do? Let me tell you what they do. Now, I know with Corey, he got more reps this time. I don't care. He should get half the reps at this point. Joe Flacco, 7 of 11. Dylan Gabriel, 7 of 10. Shedeur Sanders, 10 of 14. Kenny Pickett, 5 of 5. That was their completions today in practice. There's a problem there. We're still splitting between 4 quarterbacks. That's a problem, okay? Now, Shedeur Sanders had the most attempts. Maybe I should be happy, but I'm not. I want more, and more. How are we going to evaluate rookies if you don't give them chances? Well, Corey, he was a 5th round pick. I don't care. This notion of that is a bunch of BS. And if I cursed on my YouTube channel, I would curse a storm, but I don't curse, okay? This is getting annoying at this point. Now, like I said, injuries is a sad thing. And I'm sorry that Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett got injured. But guess what? An opportunity arose and Sheduer Sanders stepped in and he looked pretty good. Dan Orlovsky on ESPN, he had a great video breakdown. Chase Daniel had a great video breakdown. They can break more video down than I ever could break down in my entire lifetime in my space on this earth. Go watch it. It's beautiful. Now, do we need to see more? Yes, we need to see more. How do you see more? Start them against Philadelphia. I am hyped up and I'm ready to go. I'm sorry. Let me get back to it. Love and Marie, thank you for the $5 donation. James, member extraordinaire, thank you so much. I'm hyped up and ready to go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
As you can see, I'm fired up. I am fired up today. I love what I saw from Sanders, but why are we pretending that 60% passing is good? It's average. It'll be great eventually, but it's not yet. What did I just say? I said we need to say more. Don't get me started. 60% is pretty good for a rookie, and everybody else says he's a 5th round pick. So what 5th round pick comes out and throws 60%? Put one in the chat if you know one. We can't move the goalpost now. We can't move the goalpost now. He's a 5th round pick. That's what everybody's telling me. 60% is pretty darn good to me. I'll take it. You know the last quarterback we had that we paid $240 million? He was out there throwing wobbly duck hunt footballs. I'll take it. But we do need to see more. You know who I don't want to see? Kenny Pickett. I don't want to see him. I want to see him throw 0%. Give me a clipboard, hand it to Kenny Pickett. I'm fired up. Can we stop acting like Shedeur is not the best QB on the roster? I don't know if he's the best QB on the roster. Now, listen, I love your enthusiasm, Django. I love it. I don't know if he's the best QB on the roster. I still save that as place for Joe Flacco. I still think Joe Flacco is the best QB on the roster. I won't go that far, but I love your enthusiasm. I still say Joe Flacco is the best QB on the roster. He has the most experience. He's done everything that you can do in the NFL. I think he knows more than what Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett know combined in the NFL game. So I won't go that far. But after that, you can't convince me he's not the second best after what I've seen so far. Now, I know Dillon Gabriel has to play. Kenny Pickett has to play. And now I will admit, I'm a little bit biased. Thank you, James, for the $2 donation. Appreciate you, my guy, and became a member. Now, I'm being biased because I just don't like Kenny Pickett. I will admit that. I don't want him on the team. I don't. So Kenny Pickett could come out Saturday, and light it up, and we're having a different discussion.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
But let's be honest. Is Kenny Pickett really have a chance to be the future of the Browns? I don't think so. But that's just me. Freddie knew he played. Freddie knew he played. Baker won. Play the man. Freddie knew. Talking about Freddie Kitchens. And talking about Baker Mayfield. I said this earlier. Listen, Shedeur Sanders has a chance to do what Baker Mayfield did, maybe even better. And here's why I say maybe even better. Baker Mayfield was the first overall pick in the draft, and he was supposed to do what he did. He was supposed to lift the franchise up, and Baker Mayfield gave us hope. Shedeur Sanders is the 5th round pick. That's what everybody's telling me. So I got to grade him off the 5th round pick scale. If a 5th round pick can give a franchise hope, he would be I don't know. I won't say the first. What was Tom Brady? Where was he drafted? Let me know. But he could do things that no 5th round quarterback pick in Cleveland could ever do. So that's why he could do something maybe even Baker Mayfield couldn't do. And that's make Tony Grossi eat his own words. What did you think of Carson Schwislinger's performance? I think he looked good. You know what, Laser? Good question. You know what made me sad about when I watched him play? No joke. No JOK. JOK being hurt made me want to cry because he looked good. And I was trying to imagine him and JOK in the same linebacker core, in the same backfield on the defense. Could you imagine that? Now, I know it's just one game. I'm not trying to blow what he did out of proportion either, but I like the way that he looked. Very good question. But I wanted to cry because he is not fifth round. I wanted to cry because he's injured, and I don't know if or when he's coming back. But I thought he looked good. We need to see more. This is what everybody's telling me. So I'm going to do the same thing, laser, with Schwessinger. We need more, just like we need more with Shedeur. But he's going to get the opportunity because he's not playing musical chairs at the linebacker position. And there goes consistency, just making the donation go. He said, you know what? Screw it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, bro. It's all love. Why I am going crazy on the microphone here, losing my mind.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Big Dollar C said, little bro, I got you. I got you. Big bro, thank you. Yes, Carson and joke combo would be no joke indeed. You believe he was a 7th round pick, Tom Brady? I think you're right. No, 6th round, 199. Thank you, Lovey Marie. Everybody congratulating my brother for doing big things in the chat. Now, listen, I know what some people are going to say about Shedeur Sanders, and I get it. Dylan Gabriel, he deserves it. He was the 3rd round pick. He should get the start against Philadelphia. You know, Shedeur's the 5th round pick. He should play after Dylan Gabriel. And everything they said is technically it's true. Technically, I can't argue that merit. He was drafted before Shedeur, right? So he should get the start before Shedeur. And everything they say is technically right. Technically, but I don't care. You know why? Because I think Kevin Stefanski is being stubborn at this point, and he wants his guy to get a chance to prove himself. And that's why I think he is saying, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I got to see who's going to start. I'm going to tell you this. Listen, the Browns' worst decision they ever made was trading for Deshaun Watson. Now, I don't fault them for it. They had to take a swing. At the time, Deshaun Watson was a all-star quarterback, borderline superstar, depending how you looked at him. They had to take the swing and they missed. It's going to go down as the worst contract ever given out in history in the NFL, and there's no argument to it. It is what it is. That's what's going to go down as the worst mistake in franchise history is trading for Deshaun Watson, and there's no argument to be made. You know what could be second? And it's going to be kind of like a combo. It's like related to each other, right? You let Baker Mayfield go, and you can argue of whose fault it is when you let Baker Mayfield go. You could say, you know, Baker should have sat down with his injury and he still be here. Or you can say it's the coaching staff's fault and they shouldn't have let him play. You can take tomato, right? One, it's married to each other. Baker leaving out the door. He gave us hope in 2018, right? And then you have Shedeur Sanders here, okay? Could be a star, depending on if you give him a chance. If you let this man walk out the door, was a first-round talent at one point, got drafted 5th, we all understand that. You let him walk out the door, and he goes to another team. And let's say he becomes a star somewhere else, and we've seen that happen to us before. It just happens. Do you understand what the Browns would have just done? 1, sign Deshaun Watson to the worst contract in NFL history. 2, let Baker Mayfield walk out the door. Could have been your franchise quarterback for a while. And then 3, 3 is up in the air because we have to see what Shedeur Sanders has. But 3, he's already, the media is already all over him. National media putting the Browns back on the map since Joe Flacco's, his 5-game ride into the playoffs. They haven't been on the Browns since that. In a positive light, the media is all over Cleveland. If you let this young man walk out the door and he walks into another franchise and decides to be a superstar, I don't know if the Browns can recover from this. I don't think there's anything they could do. Nick Chubb's already gone. Baker's gone. Deshaun Watson's running. You know, he's showing, what is he? He's showing video of him running now all of a sudden, which I don't think anybody cares. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I know I missed a lot. Let me get to the comments. I've been talking because I'm fired up. Let me get to it. What have I missed? He's more accurate, athletic, patient than any of them. Talking about Shedeur. TB with 199 pick. Thank you, John. Believe 7th round. I read that one. I got that one, big bro. What did I miss? Sanders is just the Browns' new toy. And what do you mean by that, Harry? Do you not like Shedeur Sanders, or do you think the Browns are just using him for clicks and attention? What do you mean by that, Harry? Are you on the side of not liking Shedeur? Is that what you mean by that comment? Or are you saying Cleveland is using him for clicks and views? What do you mean? Elaborate, Harry. Because I don't want to say you don't like him, because I hate putting words in people's mouths. I just read it, and that comment was probably about 5 minutes ago. I just seen it. There goes my bro giving props to the peeps. They sent Shedeur out there with the guys from the replacements, and he held it steady until they brought in the 2s. Then it was all Shedeur. Give Shedeur a chance to play with the 1s. I agree with that as well. The normal average fan couldn't name a single Browns player out there with Shedeur. They couldn't name them. Let him play with the 1s. 1s versus 1s and see how he does. Maybe all the hype will leave then. Maybe. Or maybe the hype will just get intensified. Shedeur Sanders jersey sales estimated at $250 million. Are you serious, Paul? Laser, are you serious? I need a cut of that. I need 1%. Are you kidding me? That's wild. My goodness. The Watson contract was okay. I can't read borderline. Give me a second. The Watson contract was what the kids these days call a character building. Just like Watson. That doesn't make sense to me here. What do you mean, just like Watson? They paid him $230 million to be a franchise quarterback, and he failed. That doesn't make sense to me. What do you mean comparing him to Watson? They wanted him to be great. There was only a couple other teams, like Atlanta, I believe, wanted Watson, and some other ones. They wanted him to be great. They weren't parading him out there for, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm confused with that one. If 12 doesn't play this year, he needs to be traded or go to the CFL. He doesn't need to go to the CFL. I want him to play. Listen, my dream scenario, if I was to draw it out for me, right? If I had a piece of paper and I was going to draw out my dream scenario, let me pull out the Browns schedule real quick. Work with me for a second. I want to type in Cleveland Browns. I want to look at their schedule because I don't know it by heart, right? And no, heads up. I don't know their schedule by heart. Don't sue me. Okay. I would have Flacco start against the Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers, and see where we are from there. See where we are week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would go up to week 6 and see where we are from there. And then evaluate if we have a chance to do something after those 6 weeks. So those are a brutal 6 weeks. If Flacco has us at like 4-2, we gonna roll. See what we can do. If we're like at 2-4, 1-5, then I'd want to see what Shedeur Sanders can do, because we need to know what we have in this young man. Now, as you can see, this is my dream scenario. It doesn't mean my scenario is right. I'm not saying I'm right in my scenario. This is how I would draw it out. and then see what he can do against the Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Ravens, Raiders, Niners, Titans, Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. Let him play it out. If the Browns are in like a, not a good record after week 6, that's what I would do. As you can see, Kenny Pickett's not in my scenario. He's just not. And neither is Dylan Gabriel. But that's just me. So you see, they use Watson for views too. I don't agree with that one, but that's just my opinion. They wanted to win with Watson. They didn't pay $230 million just to get a couple of YouTube views. They could have paid some young kid to work on the algorithm to get him some views. They paid Watson to win, and he failed and got hurt. I don't agree with that one. You don't pay somebody $230 million to get you some views. They could have did that another way. There's a lot of ways you can get some views when you got money like Cleveland. So I don't agree with that one. The Browns are playing with 12. JV praise. Listen, I'll tell you this. For Tupac Shedeur, all eyes are on him. I'll tell you this. I hope he stays in Cleveland because I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, and I think he gonna go far. Super duper far. I really do. And it has nothing to do with just one preseason game. I'm looking at the total package. A lot of people are just looking at solar on the field. I'm looking at the total package. He's already got the media game down packed. Hook, line, sinker. Baker Mayfield couldn't even do that right. Baker Mayfield did not have the media game. Okay? Shedeur Sanders has that already one down pack. Check. Okay? Fans. Check. He's already got that. Now, you got some people that don't like him. That's with every player, right? Sales. Check. I'm looking at the total package when I'm talking about the quarterback. You have to, when you're talking about a franchise quarterback, are they the total package, right? We don't know on the field yet because he has to be given the chance. But in other areas, he's already showing you he can do it. And you have to be able to see these things if you're Cleveland. If you can't, you're either A, in denial, or B, you don't want to see it. Okay? And I just hope it's denial at this point. I hope they just don't want to see it. Okay? I think it's just denial. All right? Because you're not going to be able to fight it. You're just not going to be able to fight it because the young man had the talent in college. The talent just don't leave. It don't leave. All right. Sanders hasn't done nothing but this point. Get all hype. So Harry doesn't like Sanders. That's fine. I don't like Pickett. You don't like Sanders. I understand that. My reason for not liking Pickett is because he wasn't good in Pittsburgh. He wasn't good in Philly. And to me, his ceiling is Sam Darnold. And what does Sam Darnold give you? A playoff berth. He's not a franchise quarterback. That's my reasons for not liking Kenny Pickett. And I think they're valid. If you're saying Sanders is all hype, I don't agree with that. And here's why. He played one preseason game. He played with somebody from Lowe's. He played with somebody from Home Depot. And then he played with somebody from Jerome's Contracting R Us. And he did a pretty darn good job with them. He didn't get to play with Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, Jerome in the house Ford, Joel Bitonio. He didn't get to play with the homegrown talent. He was playing with Wi-Fi Bradleys of the world and making them look good. Those are my reasons for not liking Kenny Pickett. Am I a little jaded? Sure, I am. And I don't think he's the future, so I'm wasting my time watching him. Will Flacco end up being an interception machine? Flacco's always going to be an interception machine because that's just who he is. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns and he's going to throw an equal amount of interceptions. We just got to live with that when it comes to Joe Flacco. I'm not even going to get mad anymore when he throws interceptions. I expect it. That's his DNA. You can't change your DNA. It is instilled in you. My DNA is to yell when I'm mad, admit when I'm wrong, and go after greatness. It is built in my DNA. Joe Flacco's DNA is to be a gunslinger. There ain't nothing that he don't believe he can get out of with his arm. That's just what he does. Touchdowns, interceptions. They're married with each other. I think it's going to be like a 50-50 split, unfortunately. 12 cannot play with the ones. It's not fair competition. Yeah, until he gets to play with his ones, it's really not fair. He needs to play with the ones. I agree. Laser's right. 250 million in sales, which 14 million goes to Shedeur. Good gracious. And that's a 5th round pick. The Browns know 12 is money. I do agree with that. The Browns know he's money. And I will say this to Harry's point. I will say this. I don't like none of the QBs. You don't even like Joe Flacco? That's the first Browns fan I've heard that doesn't like Joe Flacco. Like every Browns fan I know loves Joe Flacco almost. Okay, that's a lie. Not every Browns fan. That's a lie. That's a lie. The majority of Browns fans like Joe Flacco. So that's wow. You don't like none of the quarterbacks? No Joe, no Kenny, which I understand that. No Dylan, and no Shedeur, which that doesn't shock me. Some people just don't like Shedeur. Some people just don't like Shedeur just because he woke up happy. I don't know. Some of our rookies were asked why they weren't bothered by full game speed. They all said because coach trained them faster, so game speed was actually slower. Interesting. Pickett and Watson need to go. I would keep Flacco, Shedeur, and Gabriel. You know what, JV? I'm not worried about Deshaun Watson. I will tell you this. My good friend AAA, Patreon extraordinaire, member extraordinaire. He's been down with me from day one in Capri Suns. Okay? My good friend AAA, I will give him credit. He said Deshaun Watson might play this year. If Deshaun Watson plays this year, I will lose my mind. I am not in one inkling worried about Deshaun Watson playing this year. And if you've been with this channel for a while, last year I was taken up for the man. Okay? Now I don't want to see him on the field. I want to see what the young guys got. Most exclusively Sheduer Sanders. I've seen enough Deshaun Watson. I don't care. Take that $230 million. Go spend time with your wife and your family. Old and washed. Okay. I mean, hey, I'm not going to say nothing about that. Not me. To me, Flacco always a Raven. And you know what? I'm surprised a lot of Browns fans don't feel that way for as much as they hate the Ravens. I mean, he was embraced with open arms. There wasn't even a hesitant not to not like Joe Flacco. But I think it was the Deshaun Watson effect. They hated Deshaun so much that Joe Flacco just immediately got the love. I think if he was replacing Baker Mayfield, I don't think the love would have been as embraced that fast. But since he was replacing Deshaun Watson, they said, give me a hug, Joe. We love you. In my humble opinion. But it's just my opinion. Does it mean it's right? No. Does it mean it's wrong? We'll have to see. I don't even call them the Ravens. I call them the older Browns. Yes, I agree with you. That has to be it. Because everybody loved Joe Flacco. And they still do. I don't hate Joe Flacco. I don't love Joe Flacco. I am part of he's old and I don't want to see him play. I'd rather see Shedeur or Dylan. And then after Friday, all I want to see is Shedeur. I don't want to see Dylan Gabriel take a snap. And that's me just being honest with you. I would rather succeed or fail with Shedeur. That's it. But Corey, it was one game. That's all I needed to see. Because I seen the potential, Selmo. What up, Selmo? Tupac Shedeur, all eyes on me. Hello, Corey. I'm excited for Shedeur. He's doing pretty good. Hopefully he does well for the Browns. What up, Jen and Eddie and Jen? Jen from Eddie and Jen. What up? Me too. And I know people could say, it's just recency bias. You're drinking the Kool-Aid with no sugar. Wait till he has a bad game and then everybody says, I told you so. I like Kool-Aid, okay? So I want to drink it, first of all. All right? This is how it goes. Second of all, I don't care. I'm all in. I am all in. No AEW. If you know, you know. I'm all in. Play the rookie. Listen, if I had my way, Joe Flacco wouldn't take a snap because we're not. I kept saying this. We're not going to win the Super Bowl. Why is Flacco playing? That's it. Why? Play the young guns. See what they can do. Even though them first 6 games were tough. I'm not going to lie. It's tough 6 games. I'd be kind of scared for Shedeur. Them tough 6 games. I'm not going to lie to you. We're not winning this year no matter what. I wanted Travis over this BS, and next year look for a QB. Travis over what BS? You still could have Shedeur and Travis. What do you have again? Did he steal your Frosted Flakes, Harry? What did he do to you? Now, I would have took Travis Hunter. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Travis Hunter. I did. I wanted both. I wanted them as a duo. But Mason Graham can prove me wrong. I don't. And here's another. What is the infatuation with next year's quarterbacks? I don't understand it. Arch Manning is not coming out. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. If somebody says Drew Allar, I will rip my face off. He is above average at best. I don't care if he plays 68 years in college. I have watched too many games of Drew Allar. I don't care if he wants to play in Cleveland. My dream was to play in Cleveland. Keep sleeping. I don't care. Shedeur is better than him with his eyes closed. Drew Allar, and that name right there, that will send me up a rocker. He was so bad he didn't come out this year. Oh my God. Sorry. That next year QB stuff just took me up a wall with Drew Allar. I agree with Lovey. Art made Ravens as Browns East. I want 2 rookies to go at it. I've seen highlights of Gabriel. Shedeur will hands down win the competition. He was at the Word Church yesterday with Pastor Vernon after his showcase on Friday. Props to Shedeur. Come on, Corey. The Panthers had the worst rated defense. And here comes another Shedeur hater. Hold on. Where's the hater? Do I have a hater alarm? Let me find a hater alarm. Do I have a hater alarm? Let me look. I don't. You're lucky. But I'm going to read the comment anyways. Worst rated defense 24, and Sanders didn't even see their first team defense or even first quarter. When that is a lie. The first team defense was out there. And you know what Sheduer Sanders had? He had paper mache, duct tape, and a shiv out there for him. That's what he had. For the first possession, they had their first team defense. Don't start with me, Kevin Wiseman. Don't start. Take your haterade, put it in a styrofoam cup with a straw and drink it. Don't start with me. Listen, today I won't have haterade. Because you know what would have happened if Shedeur stunk on Friday? You know what they would have said? Well, look. He played the Panthers and he stunk up the joint. It's the Panthers. And he couldn't even do good against them. Get him out of here. That's what they would have said. But since he did good, it's just the Panthers. It's Carolina. Who cares? We can't have it both ways. You play who you play. If you perform good, you perform good. If you perform bad, you perform bad. It's like when people win the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals. Well, I mean, look who they played. You only play who you play. What is this now? We're moving the goalpost? Like, come on. Listen. If you don't like somebody, just say it. Like, I don't like Kenny Pickett. I don't care what he does out there. He can go out there Saturday against the Eagles. He can go 11 for 11, 186 yards and 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm going to say? Well, he played with them last year, so he knows the scouting report. It wasn't fair. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders didn't have the scouting report against the Eagles, so it wasn't a level playing field. If he stinks against Philadelphia, you know what I would say? My goodness, he played on Philadelphia last year. He couldn't even do good against them. I'm going to twist it up too because I don't like him. What are we talking about here? Listen, Sheduer Sanders will be a top 5 by year 3. You can't be scared of no other teams. What up, son of... Okay, I'm going to butcher that. Son of Yahweh? I butchered it. Son of Yahweh? Son of Yahweh? JG? Did I get it right? Son of Yahweh, JG? You can't be scared of no other teams. They put on their shoes and uniforms like everyone else. Just have a good game plan and be better. You make a good point. They can't be scared. I can. I can be petrified. They can't because they have to play them. I can. They don't. Yeah, listen, they put on, you're right. They put on their uniform, their pads, their chin straps, their visors. You are absolutely right. Me, on the other hand, I don't. I can be absolutely scared. You know what scares me, son? At the Ravens September 14th. That scares me. It just does. Do I think we're going to win? No. Do I want us to win? Yes. But you make a good point. You really do. You do. But I'm still scared. It's just me. I am scared. Kevin wants to be a wise man. He's back. I'm cooking. Listen, man. I'm tired. I'm tired of having talented players and they end up on other teams and all we do is salivate and we say, well, we had them at one point. We had them. Oh, darn. DW trying to make a comeback in practice. Can we replace D-Hop with a foosball kicker? What's going on with D-Hop? What happened to Dustin Hopkins? What happened to him? He was one-time elite. What happened to him? Now he misses extra points like I drink Sunkiss and Pepsi Zero. What's going on with my guy? He's got to get it together immediately. Hit the like if you haven't already. Hit the donation if you haven't. I know basically, I think Lovey Marie and Consistency has made the donation goal. I don't know if anybody else. I think somebody else did too. I forget. And James, they hit the donation goal today. Greatly appreciate it, but you can still donate to the cause. Donate to me losing my mind today. Every donation helps the stream, helps me, helps us become one day streaming every day as soon as I wake up and you hear me yelling. 70-yard field goals. Honestly, D-Hop will miss himself out of a job here and we'll get another kicker off waivers or something, or he will regain his status before turning into another Katie Ork. He better get it together. Can anyone in here kick PATs? Not me. I am absolutely terrible. But that's all I got for you today. I don't know what else I got. I'm just going to tell you this. If Dillon Gabriel starts Saturday, I am going to be very upset. I know what they're going to say, and they're going to say, well, Dillon Gabriel has gotten the reps and, he deserves to start. He got injured, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be very mad, and I'm going to call the game in complete anger every time he drops back if he starts. It's going to be anger. Gabriel drops back. This is exactly how I'm going to call the game. But I appreciate all of you, every single one. August the 11th, Monday, 5:44 p.m. Sheduer Sanders, the hype is real, whether people like it or whether they don't. He has got people outside of Cleveland clamoring for him to be on the field. That's what you want as a franchise. You want people outside of your realm, outside of your bubble, clamoring for your team to be on TV, no matter what it is. And we haven't had that since Baker Mayfield. We haven't. Since Baker Mayfield, we haven't had that. And this is the chance in 7 years to have a quarterback with star power. Now he just has to perform on the field. He did one game. Now he needs to do it with starters. But the only way he can do that is if he gets a chance. And I have a feeling he won't. Gabriel will start. You're right, Jeff. And you would love that because you're a Steelers fan. You would love that. You would love for Dillon Gabriel to start. And you're probably right. He probably will start. And Saturday, I'm going to be pissed off when I'm calling the game. I'm going to be in a pissed off mood. Dillon Gabriel drops back. Who cares? MKC already said Gabriel for the start and Shedeur would finish. Great. What a franchise. We have the greatest franchise in the NFL history. What a great franchise we have, and wonder why we suck. Wonder why we ain't won a darn thing in years, because we don't know how to do anything right. Dylan freaking Gabriel for the start. Oh, get me some Honey Nut Cheerios for the win. What a franchise. You know, you can't. Nick Chubb, gone. Dylan Gabriel for the start. Bravo. Are we at home? Is this a home game? Let me look. Oh, we're on the road. Boy, they're lucky. That's smart. Yes, start him on the road. Because I'll tell you this. I know how Cleveland rocks. Man, let me tell you something. Let him throw 3 incompletions in a row. And Shedeur on the bench. Woo! It ain't going to be... I know Cleveland fans. If they'll cheer when you're injured, they don't give a crap about an incomplete pass. Boo! He had a 106.8 rating, JV praise. 106.8 rating. Better be pissed off than pissed on. I'm going to be pissed, Harry. I'm going to be pissed come Saturday. So be ready for me to be pissed. But hey, they have to pull Gabriel to put in Shedeur. I'm going to be pissed. Every drop back, I'm going to be pissed. So be ready Saturday. It's going to be epic. And every completion is going to be very monotone. Complete. All right. I got to get out of here. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for helping me hit the donation goal. I am not doing... Ohio State is done on this channel. It is over. The experiment is over. Loving Marie. The experiment failed. So we'll see. Maybe if I'm able to go full-time Loving Marie, I can just create me an Ohio State channel and try to build that up. Maybe one day, if it ever will happen. But for now, Ohio State is done. For now. Flacco is the starter. Yes, Jeff. Flacco is the starter for the regular season. That is correct. But other than that, appreciate all of you. Until next time, you know the drill. It is all love. Peace.